Okay, so we've got the brows on. Let's go ahead and do a tutorial on foundation, complexion stuff, concealer, that kind of stuff, you know. I'm realizing as I'm filming that I think I touched my face quite a bit and I should probably stop. So I just got off my moon cycle and I've got some lovely, beautiful breakouts here. And if you notice, I have some redness in my skin naturally. It looks like it's a lot more on camera than in person, but like especially around my nose. I have pretty dark circles and I think that's just more genetically. Especially right here where my eyeball doesn't quite touch the skin of the eye socket, where I kind of like always, especially growing up, my eyes would naturally tear all the time. So gonna cover all that up. My undertone of my skin is basically kind of a peachy neutral tone. It's not quite pink and it's not quite yellow. A lot of the foundations I have tend to pull a lot more yellow on me, but then I have a few that are like really pink, so I have to be pretty careful. Okay, so I kind of pulled up here some of the stuff that I typically go to and wear the most. But if you have like a specific foundation or powder or concealer that you want me to review, let me know in the comments below, because I have a ridiculous amount of complexion products because that's kind of my obsession, and I'll do one for you. But so for like day to day, if I'm just gonna like run around or, you know, run some errands, I really like the Balm tinted moisturizer. I have light and I have light medium right now. I haven't been out in the sun a lot, so, well, even though I work out in the outside. Anyways, and there's a fly in here that is driving me nuts also. So if you see him zoom by, I saw him in the eyebrow video. Ugh, I'm sorry. Okay, so this is really nice, and then typically I'll top it with some type of powder. My mineral powder that I've been liking the most, the Supernatural by Philosophy, that's their airbrushed canvas, and I wear medium beige in that. And Krista, did you get this for me too? I think you might have. And then sometimes I do the Bare Minerals matte, and I wear fair in that. And then I have the Laura Geller Balance and Brighten, but I think I've been noticing that when I wear this one, I'm breaking out some. So I'm trying to figure out what's causing that. As far as foundations go, depending on what my complexion looks like and my mood, I like the Makeup Forever Face and Body. It's kind of like I don't know if you guys can see this. It's like a gel. See how it's like, it's not like water. It's like almost like a jelly kind of formula. But it looks just like skin and you can build it up, which I really like. So I'll do that. Or this is one of their older ones, but the HD Foundation, like that. And then I wear the Lancome Tint Idol, or however you say it, I'm not French, foundation, and this one is in 210, but I also have one that runs a little bit pinker, and then I have, I think, 150 that's a little bit darker as well. My favorite concealers that I have a tendency to wear every day, the Laura Mercier Secret Camouflage, and I use the two, as you can see. I've hit pan, love this guy. This Laura Mercier, this is the Secret Concealer. This is the Secret Camouflage Secret Concealer. This is probably, and always has been, one of my favorite concealers. I use this under my eye. It's a peach corrector. I've hit pan on this one also because I use it almost every day. I also really like the Maybelline Age Rewind. This one is in light. And sometimes I will use the Naked from Urban Decay, and this one is in light neutral. But I don't know, this one's kind of depends because it is a drier formula. It just kind of depends on my mood, how I want to put it on there. Sometimes I will use the, what is this, LA Girl Pro Conceal, and this one is in creamy beige. But I put it on the other day and I was like, oh yeah, that matches. And then went outside and I was like, oh my gosh, that does not match. It's a little too dark. So that's back in the drawer. Oh, and sometimes I will wear this. This is, I think, Maybelline Fit Me in Fair. Yeah, number 15. But it's okay. It's like not like one of my favorites or anything. I used to use this all the time. This is the Make Up Forever full cover. I don't know why I stopped. Just one of those things I don't pull all the time. I think I have so much that I kind of get overwhelmed sometimes. Okay, so let's get on with this. So how am I gonna do this? I'll do one side kind of more natural, and then the other side we'll do fuller. So this side I'm gonna do the Balm, and this is a Sephora mineral brush. I think it's like number 45. Put a little bit there on the brush, and then just buff it in. I'm not messing with primer. Sometimes I wear face primer, sometimes I don't. I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't feel like primer always works for me, so it's just not something that big of a deal. Eye primer, yes. Oh, see how much redness that takes away already? Okay, and then I'll just top it with, we'll do the Mercier Secret Concealer under this eye, and I just like to use my finger. Typically I'll put this on first, and if I just don't have a lot of time at all, a lot of times I will just do my eyebrows and then this concealer, because my insecurities are like my areas that I like to have done. I like to have my eyebrows on, and I like to have my under eye concealed. And then I will typically go in with just a little bit of powder. Sometimes I will use my Ben Nye powder. Sometimes I use this BH Pro, what is this? BH Studio Pro Tinted HD powder. I have the Mercier one in here, but it has a tendency of looking very dry on my skin. And then sometimes I will just top it with a little bit of the mineral powder. And when I powder, I don't like to powder all over. I just kind of like to powder in the areas that tend to get oily. So I'll set under my eye with it and go on my face, my chin, kind of my T-zone area. And then that will be my natural kind of everyday complexion look. Now on this side, I will do the Lancome. Where's my beauty blender? And I'll do a pump right on the back of my beauty blender, and then start to blend this in. So, and you can see it's a little bit, this one's a little dark on me. I don't know if that's gonna pick up on the camera or not. So sometimes I'll do the darker one here, and then I'll go in, I have my lighter one here. This is the 210. And I'll do that just down here. Just to, you know, blend it all. Because most people have a darker neck and their face is lighter because they're wearing SPF on their face and they exfoliate their face. And I am an exfoliator junkie, and for some reason my face is darker. My neck gets no color at all. So my neck, can you guys see that? Like my chest, I look kind of red in the camera. But I have color here, and then like from my collarbone up to my jaw is so pasty white. And I'm like, I even put self-tanner on it sometimes, and it just doesn't, I don't know. Freak of nature, just a freak of nature. Okay, so foundation on, then I will go in. I always do my concealer after I do my foundation. So let's pump up some of this. This is the Maybelline Age Rewind. Put some of this on. The reason I like to do my concealer after is because I don't want to place my concealer where I want it, get it all blended in, and then go back on top with a foundation and then blend my foundation in, and then I've just moved to my concealer. Besides, you never know what your foundation is going to cover. You might not even need concealer on a spot. Your foundation might cover it. Now that Maybelline Age Rewind's a little bit more brightening. The Laura Mercier is just very natural. It's my skin tone. It has a little bit of peach in it to correct it. And then I will go in with the Laura Mercier, the Secret Camouflage. And this is actually a Stila eyeshadow brush. It's their number 2. I don't even know if they make these anymore, but it's very long, skinny. It's kind of like a tiny itty bitty crease brush. But you know what you could do? You know those cheap craft brushes that are like this? You could use one of these. So I typically go in and we'll pick some of the yellow and some of the peach, because I'm like right in between the two. And then just kind of do the little circles, like if I have a blemish somewhere. And I'll concentrate it like on a blemish, and then go in and buff the edges out. Can you understand me when I talk like this? Go right around my nose where I have that redness. There's a guy right over here. And I know I already powdered that side, but there was a little guy right there I wanted to get. Okay, then sometimes I'll use, instead of using that one, I'll use the Urban Decay or the Makeup Forever one. And I do the same thing. I don't always like to put this on my face, especially if it's a blemish because of the bacteria. So a lot of times I'll put it like a little bit on the brush. And then, well, I really kind of got everything pretty good. We'll do it. We'll just do it here. And then put it on. It's a little too much. And then just kind of buff it in little circles. And then I will go in with just like a setting powder. And I like to use, typically when I'm setting, I don't like to use a big brush. Where's my little brush? There it is. And this is a BH Cosmetics brush, and it doesn't say anything on it, but it's a pretty bit. I mean, it's about the size of my thumb about. Fluffy little guy. And I will put the powder into the lid like this. And then kind of tap off the excess, or I'll like hit it on my vanity like that and get the powder into the brush like that, and then go like set under the eye area onto the eye so it doesn't do that. Over any place I put concealer, and then my T-zone. And then typically I'll just leave kind of the rest of the face powder free. I used to powder my entire face, but maybe it's with age, it just doesn't work as well anymore. So my skin type's changed a little too. I used to be very oily, like not just my T-zone, but way out here too. I was really oily, and I'm not anymore. So okay, so that's complexion. I can go in, I'm gonna go in real quick and put some blush and powder, but I'm not gonna do that on camera, so if you want to see a tutorial of that, let me know. So I put a little bronzer on, I put a little blush on. So this is the finished complexion. Super fast and easy. I used to take a lot of time doing complexion, and I just don't any longer. My makeup's usually done like in 10 minutes and I'm out the door. To be honest, like they pretty much look similar. Okay, now there are 2 flies in here and it is driving me bananas. Usually, now I don't even know what I was saying. They're making me crazy. Anyways, this was more natural. This was the fuller coverage. They really have, because I put the mineral powder on top of the tinted moisturizer, it put it up to a medium full coverage. If I had done like the Tint Idol with like a pressed powder on top of it, I would have got a little bit more coverage, but this is typically what I like. So I don't know if you guys can see though. I do notice that my pores look larger on this side than they do on this side. Like the mineral makeup has kind of sat. Let me see something real quick. Where's my brush? I'll use this Tarte brush. Yeah, that mineral makeup's kind of sitting in the pores a little bit more, which I don't think I've ever noticed that before, but I can still see it pretty. I don't know if you guys, can you see that at all? I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that's the finished. This is it, guys. I'm done. I think I'm mentally done. I've been doing this and editing and filming back and forth because my phone is out of memory for about 3 hours now, and I'm kind of exhausted. So here it is. I'm going to try to get through and do this winged eyeliner tutorial for you, Tori, but let me stop and finish this complexion. Like I said, if you have any questions on any other brands or products, leave them in the comment section below. And thanks for watching, guys. Hope this helped somebody out.